You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and so if you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of a Masquerade in the Woods. So y'all, last episode we actually got to meet Mason, and I think the next character we're going to be meeting is Shepard, and maybe this might be his favorite store on the Citadel. We shall see. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Since I mentioned Mass Effect, if y'all haven't seen it, look up Michael Scott in Mass Effect. It's a two-part thing. It's incredible. I love it. It is crazy how well Michael Scott fits into the Mass Effect universe. And if y'all don't know who Michael Scott is, he is Steve Carell from The Office. It is amazing. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Chan, you were up. And let's go. Okay. Alright, my turn. I take another swig in preparation for what's to come. Oh, one second, y'all. Okay. Striped Tail. I meet his gaze, cowering a bit under his mischievous smile. Let's start simple. Hey, wait. Oh, okay. Wrong one. Loading, okay. Single? Yes. You're so fucking pathetic, Cody. I nod. Yeah. Single. That's not entirely true, is it? The possum leans his head back and tilts it in Lucas's direction. Seems you've got a chance after all, Giant. The big dog in question rubs his arm, his eyes off to the side. It's not like that, Mason. Mason chuckles, winking at me before pouring the rest of his beer down his throat. Just as I consider doing the same, the door behind me swings open. Shepard, I almost thought you'd be a no-show. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'd be a little nervous. I feel the sweat on the back of my neck begin to trickle down my back, and a new shot of adrenaline enters my bloodstream. He looks old, older than three of us at least. More mature, but no less intimidating. His presence looms over the entire room. Mason jumps off the chair and tosses the final beer over towards the Hyena. Saved one for you. Shepard effortlessly catches the can, in sharp contrast to my sloppy attempt earlier, before his eyes fall on me. His expression changes. He stops, his eyes fixated on me. His face as if he recognizes me, but can't quite place where. But only for a moment before he collects himself, and his eyes instead turn to the mask decorated with purple still sitting on the workshop desk. Mason takes a step back as the large Hyena approaches, grabbing the mask by the leather straps and shoving it back in the drawer, slamming it shut. You alright, Shep? Without response, Shepard makes a beeline towards Lucas, who in turn stands up, cowering under the Hyena's piercing stare. He stops just inches away from Lucas, and even though they stand at virtually the same stature, Shepard still gives off the vibe of looming over him. Insubordination will not be tolerated in this family. His voice is gruff and low, with the rest of the room being so quiet it's audible throughout the entire space. I was just... What you did was reckless, and not only did you put yourself in danger, you put the entire operation at risk. Lucas shrinks further into himself, avoiding eye contact. I look to Mason, but he's retired to fiddling with a screwdriver on the desk, pretending not to hear it. Maybe it's a liquid courage or just that deep-rooted instinct to say something when someone's getting scolded unfairly. Whatever it is, I speak up. Hey! Shepard calmly turns his head. Now that his eyes are on me again, I'm starting to have doubts about saying anything. I shiver. He rescued me, okay? If you're gonna yell at someone, yell at me! I'd intended for my voice to come out a bit more confident than it did, but under his gaze it's difficult to even face him. Shepard doesn't flinch in the slightest, but Lucas lifts his head to join him in looking at me. Out of the corner of my eye I notice Mason doing the same. I expect him to yell. I expect him to scream at me for talking back, for standing up for Lucas. But he doesn't. Everything goes quiet, as if he's waiting for me to elaborate. I swallow to wet my throat. That's what you're all here to do, isn't it? Rescue those in need? You two, out. I think it might be better if I stay. Shepard's eyes finally leave mine to glare at Lucas, and I can hear him gulp almost comically loud. The Hyena huffs. Out. Lucas hesitates before looking down at me with an apologetic expression. I try to mouth out a don't leave me, but judging from what just went down, I reckon this is not the ideal time to argue. He bites his lip and steps back, joining Mason on their way outside. The door slams shut, and I feel a sour sensation setting in as the one person I somewhat trust in this world disappears. Strange fucking times these are. Shepard takes a seat at the table, clutching his paws together. With just a look, I follow his lead and sit down opposite him, feeling my legs shake. What's he gonna do to me? First Giant's wild adventures, and now this. I'm not sure what he means by this, so I stay silent. And the room stays that way for a long time, maybe a minute. Still, I don't dare look up at him. Who are you? Cody, sir. Does he just want me to start talking? What does he want me to say? Does he want me to apologize? 1 second, y'all. It is water time. I just wish Miles were here. He'd know what to do. He sighs, takes a deep breath, and readjusts in his seat. How are you? I'm so... What? The question catches me so off guard, I have to do a double take. His expression shows concern. How are you holding up? There's such a change in demeanor, I'm left speechless. I'm okay. You've been through a lot. I'd be surprised... excuse me. I'd be surprised if you were okay. He leans forward on his forearms, his paws still clutched together. You can be honest with me. You're safe here. So, how are you? I'm not okay. He nods, listening silently. I don't really know how to get home. I don't even know where home is. I barely fucking know where here is. Giant did mention memory loss, most likely from that nasty head trauma. How's your paw? It doesn't hurt all that much anymore, only when I apply pressure. Much like ink, then. And your head, wrist. I'm still taken back by his concern. They feel fine, sir. He nods. Would you like something to drink? Look over at the empty cis-pack on the table. Something a little less awful, I mean. I can't stand the stuff ink brings in. I thought you were gonna scold me. He tilts his head, narrowing his eyes. Why would I do that? Because, well... I shudder, hesitating. Shepard closes his eyes and shakes his head, leaning back in his seat. Did ink tell you that? I nod, feeling a little guilty to snitch on him so easily. River's warning didn't help either. Neither did the impression he just left when he walked in. I'll admit the situation isn't ideal. We've lost our best lead thanks to your actions. I swallow. But we can recover from this. He sits back up, placing his forearms back down on the table. It's more important you're alive. If you're referring to standing up for Giant... A smirk creeps up to his lips. I see that as a show of character. He's never overstepped before. I had to make sure it doesn't happen again. Now then, would you be okay with telling me what happened? Any information you can give me would be useful, and could possibly make up for the setback you put us in. I hesitantly nod, and steady myself to begin my retelling of what I remember. From waking up in the forest to waking up in Lucas's bed. I tell him about George. About what he did to me, and how scared I was. What I did to him. He listens intently through it all, rubbing the scruff on his chin thoughtfully. Halfway through, I have to wipe my eyes a couple times to stop the emotions from spilling over. I mention the factory. Factory? I nod. Did he tell you what he was doing there? He said it was a surprise, and that he'd take me there soon. Once he got me dressed up and nice looking. I gently grab my bandaged fingers. He sighs and shakes his head. Doesn't respond, so I go on. Once I finish, Shepard stands up and walks around the table, holding his arms out to either side. I stand up too, accepting his offer and pressing my body to his. And we stay like that for a while, Shepard patting my back, me doing my best to steady my breathing against his chest. I understand. Oh, shit. Shepard! I swear if you... I jump back away from the big hyena, my breathing catching in my throat. 1 second, y'all. Water time. Looking over at the entrance, the door stands open and River stands in its wake. Behind her, I see Mason and Lucas peeking their snouts around the frame. Oh. What? River narrows her eyes on him and sighs. Never mind. Probably thought he was gonna fuck Cody up. Ah, so we get a big buff hyena daddy, okay. Why not move down here? It's 7 hours from here, Eric. I know. I just miss you. I miss you too. Please, Cody. I need you down here. We'll rent our own apartment. You can find a job and I'll do my university thing. How are we supposed to pay for it? Don't worry about it. What if I can't get a job? We'll figure something out. But what if we don't? For fuck's sake, Cody. Just don't worry about it. How can I not if we're trying to plan our lives out together? Why do you always have to question me, huh? I'm just... Do you not care about me? Of course I do, but I still have a year of school left up here. If you cared about me, you'd come down here. Please don't do this to me, Eric. I won't have a long-distance relationship. Either you move down here tomorrow, or it's over. Oh, so yeah, that's probably not the healthiest fucking relationship in the world. I gently press my fingertips against the cool metal of the can, taking small sips from it now and then. Turns out Mason came prepared and brought a second pack of beer. Luckily, they're not very strong. Shepard rolls out a large map on the table in the center, while Mason ruffles through a box placed on his workbench. River leans against the closed door, her expression still accusatory, aimed at Shepard. Lucas comes over and sits down next to me, setting down his unopened can of beer on the table. You okay? I whispered to the canine. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. He smiles. I didn't think you'd stand up for me like that, you know. I repay with a smile. And neither did I. But after everything you've done for me so far, how could I not? Well, I mean... His eyes drift, and I follow him to the captain, leering over the map in the center of the room. To be honest, I don't know what came over me. Shepard's a good guy. He just has trouble showing it sometimes. He showed it pretty well once we sat down and talked. Really? I nod. Ink, you're up tonight. I thought Lou was up tonight. Without looking up, Shepard answers. He was, but the schedule has changed. I didn't know a date was a valid excuse to pass on duties. Ow! River lifts her paw and slaps him over the head. What was that for? River doesn't answer. She just glares up at him. I can't help but chuckle. What's the plan moving forward? We'll keep up recon efforts, but with George out of the picture, we've lost our lead. What about the others? Shepard looks up from his map. Who? The other missing people. You said there were others, didn't you? What about them? Well, they're still out there, right? Kid, they're almost certainly dead by now. So? Shepard stands up straight, folding his arms. I agree with Cody. They could have valuable information. If there's any possibility of any of them are still alive, we have to rescue them. And if they're not, well, they at least deserve a proper burial. Shepard nods. Though with only 2 hunters, finding them could take months. Months. If any of them are still alive, they'd all be dead by then. And where exactly would you suggest we start looking? George's house would be a good start, although it's not exactly open to the public at the moment. We could try slipping in. I have a better look around. I didn't really have time to search the place. The big dog's eyes dart to me for a second before returning to Shepard. River scoffs, crossing her arms. 1 second, y'all. Water time. The last of the water. The last water on Earth. No. Do you realize the risk you'd be taking? What if someone sees you? An active crime scene is not the place you want to be at if the cops show up. We'll dress up, hide our identities. I looked to Mason, swiveling on his chair. With the masks. Others are out there, in the same situation I was in, if not worse. I can't sit idly and wait while this goes on. Mason smirks back at me, standing up. I thought you said you couldn't join the team, Striped Tail. Join the... what? No, absolutely out of the question. He's not going to out playing Vigilante in this condition. Why not? I did. Not 2 days after you got out. I thought you said you couldn't care less about me. She narrows her eyes, taking a few steps towards me. I don't. That doesn't mean I don't care about this big idiot. Her digits point at Lucas, who in turn stands up. We're in no state to refuse help from those who are willing, Doc. If the raccoon wants to make up for his clumsy actions, let him. Clumsy? I was almost killed! Are you sure you want to go back there, after everything that happened? No, not really. I don't particularly want to relive that whole experience. I want to go home. I want my body back. To just leave knowing others might be suffering what I did? No. I can't just leave them. I couldn't live with myself if I did. Miles will understand. I want to help. I look around the room. When my eyes meet Shepard's, I see the sides of his mouth curl into a small smile. We're already wanted, but what do we have to lose? Rivers lifts her paw to pinch the bridge of her nose. Are we seriously considering this? We have to, right? That's what heroes do, Lucas adds. River scoffs and tilts her head at him. Don't flatter yourself. You're a mutt in a mask. He's a hero to me. Her eyes turn on me, and so does everyone else's. I swallow. I mean, he saved me. I look down at my bandaged paw. And so did you. She shakes her head. Shep, you can't seriously be considering this. The Hyena scratches his chin, looking down at the map laid out in front of him. No. You can't all head down to the house. 2 is more than enough to look through the place. What? I'll look somewhere else, then. No, you're needed at the house, Ink. He turns to meet the possum's eyes, and they exchange a look, as if they both know the implication, but leaving me in the dark. Alright, why don't we consider this Stripetail's introduction mission? Me, Lucas, and Cody. Someone's got to keep an eye on him while we're out. 2 eyes. He nods. That could work, yeah. Retrieve whatever could be relevant. Especially the raccoon's claws, if they still happen to be there. Tampering with evidence now, too. We're criminals, Nebby. Always have been, always will be. She shakes her head. Alright, guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks, or tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!